I'm Scott L. Miller. It's the 7th of October, 2023. This is my vlog of daily life living in Nicaragua. Today, we're out in gorgeous Carlos Canales. It is very warm. There's a lot of sun. We have a storm rolling in. You can see the dark clouds behind me. That means there's a lot of humidity, but it should be cooling off really soon once it takes the sunlight away. But the sunlight is cooking me. I can feel it. I'm in black, right? So it's really hitting me, but it is so warm and humid, and I'm out walking around doing the filming, but I really wanted to do something different today. So we're going to take a completely different format and have some fun with this, because it was neat being out here yesterday. If you didn't watch yesterday's show, go watch that. And it's neat doing some B-roll. It's a Friday. I'm actually recording this on a Friday, and I have a little bit of time, just a little bit, to get out in the afternoon and do something fun. So we're going to do a different episode today. Let's check it out after the bump. Doing yesterday's video was so much fun, and just showing some B-roll and doing something different, I decided that today I just needed to come out and do something different. It has been a very busy week between work stuff and some life stuff, and a whole bunch of work doing new videos for Nikar Roomba, which, if you have not checked out yet, we are going tonight to watch a show at Food Rock, and it's going to be filmed. And I worked on the editing of that, and I'm going to be posting it on the Nikar Roomba YouTube channel today. So on the day that you're seeing this, you should see that video show up. Go check it out. It's over 2 hours. Eddie Espinoza and Emmanuel Sorrentino are performing at Food Rock. It's a great show. We got a really good recording of it, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Something a little bit different. It's a full concert. It's one of the first that we've managed to get absolutely everything. It's recorded with audio on the Tascam. Sounds great, lots to see, gives you a good feeling for what it's like going out here in Leon. But right now, we're gonna head into this gorgeous field. So come along, let's go explore. I managed to get out today at a really nice time. It's just after 1 o'clock, and early afternoon storm is actually rolling in, which we don't get most of the time. Normally we get the storms in the evenings. So this is really nice. We got some overcast, beautiful, beautiful clouds out over the hills and rolling in from behind me. And just a great day to be exploring out in the fields. I love it out here. And here in Carlos Canales is one of the just really great open areas where there's just so much beautiful grassland, and you get lots of wind and great clouds. Just everything's really gorgeous out here, and it's so quiet. We're so used to Nicaragua being so loud, and for this area to be so quiet and serene, it's a really nice change of pace. These trails through the fields are really interesting. I think they're mostly made by people. You never see cattle up here or anything like that, but a lot of the villagers from Carlos Canales cross through these fields in order to get places. Now this is Cerro de Oro over here to my right, like in front of me, and you can see the dark clouds that are coming up over there. That's one of the telecommunications hills on the way to the beach at Ponaloya. Recording on a really hot day like this is always a challenge because it is so warm for me, so I get sweaty and I lose my breath, and I'm trying not to completely overheat. And of course the camera's on really deep grass, so it wants to move around really. I'm on a very light tripod. For those who've watched the show, this is the one I carry around most of the time, and so it doesn't handle grass very well, but everything's grass. I don't have level surfaces on which to set the tripod, and it's just a tiny thing, and it weighs nothing, which is perfect for carrying it around, but it's a little bit hard when you're out in the field. But I have to do my filming underneath a tree in some shade, because even with a breeze, like, it does nothing to cool down the camera. Any modern camera recording at 4K or better, it's just going to overheat like crazy, and the GoPro's no exception. Plus it's got the media kit and all kinds of things generating heat, so it warms up really fast. And I'm doing a wireless mic today. which explains why I'm able to walk around. But just wanted to do, I just really felt like doing something different. It's been a while since we've switched up the format, and because this week's been so busy, I haven't been able to go out and do barrio walks or anything this week. And we did some houses recently, but not this week. We haven't had time to talk about that. And we have the apartment we want to film, but it's not quite ready yet. And I've had several days this week where I've not been in the house at all. And yesterday in filming time, I promised my daughters I'd take them out for a special dinner. So we went up to Chinandega to Dragonfly and had dinner, which is fantastic. But that meant that my day was over by about 5 o'clock. I had to be in the shower and out the door. And then we weren't back until very late, 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. Because it's a ways to drive up to Chinandega, and then a fancy dinner takes a while, and we got loads of food and hung out and had a good time, and it was really nice. But that was my whole evening. So this week has been like lost. Now this weekend, so far, it's looking like it's gonna be okay. I'm excited to have some time to get to stuff on the show and get some things uploaded because we got some cool stuff going on. I put a ton of time into editing a couple of concerts, and I'm gonna be recording another one in a few hours from the time I'm recording this. But I'm getting a process down, and I think they're turning out really well. We've got the equipment figured out for the most part. We're still overheating like crazy, really tough on battery management, but we're getting there. And come December, getting a new camera that's going to take care of a lot of that stuff. All brand new batteries and a cooling system and much more efficient machine and just everything. Able to do continuous recording. Right now, all my recording has a hard 29-minute limit if it can make it that long with the heat. So even if it doesn't overheat, I'm still dealing with the record length, and it makes lots of separate files, even though it's got a single record length. So I've got like 6 files for every 29 minutes. It's a mess. It's so hard to deal with. Moving to a new camera, a modern camera that solves some of those things is going to make my life so much easier. I'm going to have so much more time to create more content. So as always, I definitely encourage you to scroll down, go down into the comments and leave any comments that you have, and definitely ask any questions that you have that you'd like to have answered on the show. Sometimes I just answer in the comments, but a lot of times I take those questions and I use them to make an episode. I didn't have anything for today, or I didn't have time to grab it and kind of put it together and be prepared. So instead, I'm out doing a little bit of a walk, and I didn't bring my phone with me. So even things that I kind of have queued up, I don't have with me. I'm doing a much more relaxed day and getting a nice walk in and just doing something different, which I hope is really entertaining. So scroll down, ask questions, let me know what you want to know about Nicaragua, vlogging, relocation, moving abroad, handling your taxes, all this kind of stuff that we often talk about on the show, or other things that you think I might be knowledgeable about, I guess, like whatever would be interesting to people. Let's talk about that. One thing I do want to ask you guys, and again, go down in the comments to let me know, that we've done a number of concerts here on the show, whether it's doing just a live broadcast, which is cool because people interact, or if it's doing like long form recording and putting them up. I've done a bit of that, and it gets some really good views. So I appreciate the people who are taking the time to watch that and who appreciate it and like and share and all that. And it's definitely a good way to get people interested in the show. However, it's not the same content as we normally do here on the vlog. So I wonder how much of that kind of stuff people find valuable. Do people find it to be a negative? Is it like annoying to find it on the channel? Like, oh, there's a new episode. Oh, it's not the normal stuff. It's just this music or whatever. And I know it has applicability because it's about life in Nicaragua, and it's places that I am, and it's showing part of my life. So it's not like I'm doing something completely random, but it's also not the same as the vlog in any way whatsoever. So I'm really interested in your feedback on that, and to let you know what I'm doing, because I really like doing that type of footage. And I think it's a very valuable thing because there are a number of people who really enjoy that. I get hundreds of views on every concert that I record, but I think it's kind of a different audience. And so partially I like that it draws people into this show and gives an opportunity for them to learn about it, but how often should we be doing that? What do you think? What kind of format should it be? Is there something I'm not doing that I should be? Should it be shorter, longer? You let me know in the comments. But what I'm doing now is I'm working with Nikar Roomba, who does the website nikarroomba.com, about events and concerts and stuff going on in Nicaragua. And I'm helping them do recordings for their channel, which is just at Nikar Roomba here on YouTube. And if you go check that out, it's going to be a lot more artist, meaning videographers, creating content on there. We're already working to get someone who's based in Managua to get started. I'm really hoping to find someone in Esteli who's going to do that and get like different regions of the country, but that are providing to the channel. and it needs to be a certain quality level though. So we have to figure out audio and video, and we were already talking about upping the quality on this one with new equipment. So figuring those things out, there's a lot of moving parts. So we're still working on figuring out quality and control and format and how the editing process is going to work. There's a lot of moving pieces that we're putting together, but I'm involved with them, and I'm starting to put up a number of shows that I've done over there, and I think that's a better venue for that, because it's nothing but concerts or concert related material. Like upcoming, I've got this interview that I just did, so I'm going to talk about that. On last night, Friday night, we went to the Cadejo concert. They did a tribute show to one of their founder who passed away from COVID. And so we recorded the show and we talked to the band, and they're all coming over. The entire band is coming over tomorrow morning to my place where I film a lot of the episodes in the garden. And we're going to film in the garden with multiple cameras. Marcella, that you've seen on the show, is going to be doing, she's going to be running the interviews because it's going to be all in Spanish. We'll do our best to get that subtitled in English. I don't know how quickly English subtitles will be available. It might be really quickly, or it might take a little bit, but we're going to get that done so that you can watch it subtitled. But it's going to have the entire concert, which is about 2 hours, plus full interviews, which are about 30 minutes, and really go in depth on Cadejo and Amalgama and Oscar, to whom the tribute is, and the band today, and all the guys, and meet some of the people you see on the channel and that are often involved in the music scene here in Leon. And I think it's a really neat format for people to connect a little bit more, and not just be like, here's what a venue looks like, here's what music sounds like, but here's also a band talking about the music scene and the people involved and what's going on here. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for that to be a really cool thing. So that's the show was recorded last night. Tonight we're recording Eddie and Emmanuel at Food Rock Ave. That's going to be up, I think, at the same time you're seeing this, or within a few hours. You're going to have that to see on the Nikar Roomba channel. So please go check that out. It's more than 2 hours long, just concert. Put it on in the background and get to know the music scene here, different venue, different artists. And then tomorrow morning we're recording that interview. So all that kind of format for around entertainment, around bands and music and that kind of the art scene here in Nicaragua, I think makes sense to be on Nikar Roomba and not here. But I really want to hear what you guys want from that kind of perspective, because doing things like interviews, maybe not of bands or not primarily bands, just one of many different things. And I do want to do interviews of like expats that are living here and get different people's perspective. I'm hoping to get like my wife and kids on the show sometime soon and talk about life here from their perspective, and expand in that way. But what I think is going to be cool is definitely not as good as what you guys may think is going to be cool. So certainly let me know your thoughts, because I'm really interested in what direction I could take the material that would be of most interest for you. And I want to point out that we've gotten a lot darker in the last few minutes while I was standing here, and it's gotten a lot cooler. I'm getting a nice cool breeze now. So I have a feeling that the rain is pretty close, and I'm starting to hear what might be rain not too far away. So hopefully we're going to have rain. And I'm off for a little bit more of a walk. It's warm, but it's a gorgeous day, and I'm really enjoying being out here and getting a chance to just get out of the office and do something completely different. Now, speaking of things to do in Nicaragua and places to go, it's worth mentioning that if you're watching this on Saturday, on the morning that the show releases, today is the day of the solar eclipse, which is coming through here in Nicaragua and in Panama. And Panama is going to be going west of Panama City, coming through around the Azuero Peninsula. So if you're somewhere where we used to live, around Rio Hato or west to the peninsula, you're going to get a full eclipse. If you're in Panama City, you're going to get a partial one. Same thing here in Nicaragua. It's going to be passing right over the city of Bluefields on the east coast. So if you're out there on the Caribbean coast, you're going to get a full eclipse. If you go into Managua, you're going to get about 95% of one. If you're here in Leon, we're expected to get about 85% of one. That's happening in the morning. So if you're watching this from Nicaragua, be prepared. It's happening right about the time that you're watching this. So go check your local time for when it's coming through, and go see how much of it you're able to see from where you are. And if you're able to get some shots of it, send them in to me. I'll put them on the show for scenes of the eclipse from around the country. We're hoping to make it out ourselves. I know that here in Leon, they're putting on a special thing for the kids, or the whole community, out in Central Park, and all over the country they're doing similar things, and they've put up information online where each city is hosting their events and where you can go and watch the eclipse with everyone. So that should be cool. It could be like a cool community event. I'm looking forward to checking that out. The kids are really excited to get out and do. They like eclipses. We once drove all the way from New York to Missouri to go see a full eclipse when it happened there. We almost drove the Bluefields for this, but it's just too far. It just didn't work. But I do have one of you guys, one of our fans here on the show, is actually out in Bluefields now, ready for the eclipse tomorrow. So I'm going to keep it short today because we had a lot of camera issues, and I recorded whole clips and the audio didn't work, so I apologize. But I really like this shooting style. Totally let me know what you think. I want feedback on this, but thanks for joining me today. Like, subscribe, share on social media, tell your friends about the show. Every extra view, every extra like, every extra subscribe, that's what makes the channel possible. And all that feedback, all those comments, I want to know what it is you guys like, because that's how I know what to make. Thanks for joining me so much. If you'd like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Scott Allen Miller. That's like Patreon. It comes directly to me and helps me pay for all the cameras and stuff and all this gear that is misfunctioning all the time. Well, I'm constantly needing new gear. I'm also constantly experimenting with new gear. And today, I think this was more user error. It was definitely the camera having a problem, but there's steps I should have taken to ensure that it worked. And unfortunately, I missed it. But luckily, I grabbed some extra footage of myself walking into the middle of nowhere, and it's perfect for wrapping up the show. So I will see all of you tomorrow.